What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome. Another episode of Keys Boxing Gym Talk. I'm your host, K-Rob216. Thank you guys for tuning in this beautiful afternoon. Man, yeah, we got a beautiful boxing weekend ahead of us. We got a big fight, man. Xander Zayas will be putting his WBO and WBA 154-pound titles on the line against none other than Ennis, the former lineal 147-pound champion of the world. Like and subscribe, please, as always. I'm excited for this fight. I've been excited for this fight ever since it was announced. When this fight was first announced, it threw me off guard because a lot of people were so concentrated on Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. I made a video, I think, a few months ago and said that fight shouldn't happen. It doesn't make sense to for this fight to happen because neither of those guys hold belts at 154 pounds. Virgil Ortiz is still yet a world champion, which is it baffles the hell out of me. I'm still confused about that. So it just made no sense to do that right now without no belts on the line. I would have still watched it, but anyways, though, this threw me off. They scratched that because Virgil Ortiz is going through a lawsuit with Golden Boy Promotions. So Ennis called out Xander Zayas, and Xander Zayas, being the warrior that he is, he took that fight without hesitation. Bob Arum, to me, is a promoter known for not protecting his fighters. If you say you want to go out there and fight and be great, he's going to let you go out there and be great. He showed it with his track record and stuff like that, man. So this fight, I'm going to give my 2 cents on it. The keys to victory and stuff like that, the keys to victory for Xander Zayas. He's going to have to use his size. He's going to have to use his size. He's a big 154-pounder. I looked at his last 2 outings, how he looked a lot bigger than his opponents. His last fight against Abbas Baru, when he fought him for his WBA championship, and he beat him for that, but he looked at a lot bigger. The fight previous to that was when he fought Perez for the vacant WBO 154-pound championship. He looked at bigger. He's gonna have to use his size. Zaire Hernandez has a lot. He got some great skill. His footwork could be, I think he needs a little bit more work. He needs to work on that in the gym. I hope they're going to be working on that in the gym, especially fighting somebody like Ennis. But, man, he got great technique. He's been boxing since he was a little kid. He's not one of those fighters that started boxing late, so he knows what to do. He knows the fundamentals. He got the muscle memory, what to do to get out of trouble, the counters. He doesn't have to think a lot to throw his punches and stuff like that, or what combinations that he wants to throw. And so he's going to have to do that against Abbas. He did good in the first 6 rounds, but he did start to fade late. His problem, his weakness is he loses focus. It seems like he's thinking about something else inside that ring. When he's boxing, he's thinking about other things outside of boxing, and he gets hit. He gets hit a lot sometimes. I was upset of how he let Baru back him up a lot and stuff like that, and he was a smaller man. He was just putting on the pressure. At times, he can fight going backwards, like I said, because he got the amateur experience and stuff like that, and he's got experience in the pro ranks too. But he was getting bagged up a lot, and around 7 through 12, he was getting hit a lot. He wanted to slug it out with him. He got the best of some of the exchanges that he didn't get the best of. He made it a close fight on one of the judges' scorecards. One of the judges had Baru winning at the end of the 12 rounds. But it was a clear victory for me with Baru, but it was against Baru, but it was a close fight. He's gonna have to just work on his footwork, his pressure. He's got to work on not getting hit so much when he's fighting somebody like Ennis. What he's got working against him is his speed and his athleticism and his engine and stuff like that. And he's gonna have to use that. But he's only been fought one round in the 154-pound division, and that's against Lima. We all know that Ennis is one of the most athletically gifted fighters in today's era and today's boxing right now. But he gets hit a lot too. He gets hit a whole lot. And that's why I didn't want to see him in there in the ring with Bud Crawford, because Bud Crawford was going to be clipping him all night, chopping him down. And I think that he would have stopped him if those two were to fight in their prime, if they would have fought. Bud was still at 147 pounds. But nevertheless, though, man, Bud Boots Ennis, his engine, his boxing IQ. He's had great boxing IQ, but I hope that him and Bozy Ennis, his father, worked on his defense in the gym because he's going to need that. Like I said, he's only fought one round. He's fought one time in a 154-pound division, and he got a lot of flack for that for fighting Lima because, like I said, it was one round, so he didn't really get hit at all or nothing like that. I want to see how he handles getting hit against somebody that's as big as Xander Zayas. What he's going to do, especially if he gets hit on multiple occasions. Let's say, because I think Xander Zayas, I think one of his keys to victory is to put pressure on him, put pressure on Boots, effective pressure. I don't see him outboxing Boots Ennis or anything like that. Just see him catching him with some good shots and timing. That's what's going to have to be on Xander Zayas on his side. He's going to have to use that. I hope they worked on that in the gym. But ultimately, though, man, you know, a lot of people are sitting here picking Boots Ennis to just crush Xander Zayas. You guys have, if you think that, I'm not going to insult you and say that your boxing IQ, you don't have a knowledge for boxing, but I think you need to reevaluate because these are two pros that know what they're doing with experience, who are champions, who are unified champions, so they know what to do in that ring. They know not to go out there and get blew out. Xander Zayas knows not to go out there and get blew out of the water by fighting Boots in his fight. That being said, though, man, I'm gonna go with Boots Ennis. I think he's going to win by the 12th round. I want to say 11 for 12th round. He's going to stop him. I think that his engine and his athleticism is going to be the key factors in that fight with his counter punching. Like I said, Xander Zayas, he tends to go in there and it seems like he's just thinking about other things outside of boxing while he's in there fighting. Like, you know, did the dog go out and use the bathroom or something like that while he's in there fighting with his opponents? And he tends to go in there and he likes to trade shots and stuff like that, man. He definitely likes to trade shots. And I think that's going to cost him because a counterpuncher like Jerron Ennis, you know, his footwork is, I love his footwork. He knows how to get in and get out of trouble. Xander Zayas is, he shows that, but he's just not, like I said, he's just not as gifted as Boots Ennis. His hand's not as fast as Boots Ennis, but he definitely has a puncher's chance, though, especially contest that chin because Boots Ennis has not taken a punch from a legitimate 154-pound contender. But at the end of the day, though, I think his combinations and all that is going to put him, you know, put him on the ground by the 12th round. But if not, you know, it's going to be by unanimous decision, though. But we'll have to see what happens tomorrow, though. But that is my prediction, man. Let me know in the comments what you guys think is going to happen tomorrow night, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I have another story coming up later on. It's about Usyk. He's vacating all the titles. And he's got his one last fight going on, and it might be in the United States. So I will talk to you guys a little later on.